Mr. Skačkauskas, thank you very much for visiting our studio in Astana. Let me start from this point. Kazakhstan identifies Lithuania as one of the priority partners in EU and in Baltic region. What strategic initiatives could you name to enhance transport and logistic sectors among the two states, and what projects can you now announce, maybe new ones, as the result of your visit? Please.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. First of all, I would like to admit that we have very good, intensive cooperation with Kazakhstan. I already visited Kazakhstan twice. My minister visited, and Kazakhstan minister visited recently Lithuania, and we are talking about many different topics. Of course, most important topic, I would say, to connect Kazakhstan and Lithuania. Lithuania actually is a small, open economy, and they have very developed transport infrastructure. Actually, for your reference, our transport sector itself makes about 12% of GDP. It's twice much as in EU countries on average. So we have a very big port, the biggest in the eastern side of Baltic Sea. The port is universal, the port is developing. We are now ready to develop 200 hectares for the new terminals. We have Rail Baltica from Kaunas, second largest city in Lithuania. You can reach basically Germany and Italy by European standard railway stop. And also we have roads infrastructure. So we would like to offer to Kazakhstan business as a window to Europe, to use our infrastructure, and we can make a win-win situation.
So in terms of bilateral connectivity between Kazakhstan and Lithuania, what new projects can you highlight in this sector to appear perhaps this year or next year?
Yeah, so basically now we are developing infrastructure, we're increasing capacity, our port, our railways, and our roads, of course. What regards Lithuania-Kazakhstan connectivity, of course, we have transport corridors. One is northern traditional, but also we are joined. Our railways joined TRASECA, Trans-Caspian corridor organization, and we would like to be part of this corridor because we believe that this corridor is very important. We want to diversify routes, and basically, if we connect, if we making this corridor viable, when we from Central Asia, basically, we're reaching Europe, and then we can go north to the Lithuania. And from Lithuania, by ships, we have regular lines. You can reach Scandinavia, you can reach Germany and other markets.
So speaking of numbers, what's the volume now of cargo between Kazakhstan and Lithuania? What's the goal for this year?
Yeah, basically, I would start from a broader numbers. So far, our trade volume is about 250 million euro. It's really, I would say, quite good result. Kazakhstan is it's among top 20 our trade partners. Of course, we see a lot of potential. We should grow because Kazakhstan is a big market, rich with energy resources, with good agriculture. So our goal is to increase connectivity and to increase, of course, trade volume. Now, some Kazakhstan business using our port, Klaipėda. So we have about annually about 500,000 tons. Also, Kazakhstan Railways carrying cargo to Lithuania. It's also about 500,000 tons per year.
So we've seen that both Kazakhstan and Lithuania aim to enhance relations in the transport and logistics sector, but at the same time we see that the trade turnover last year, I mean this year in 2023, decreased to 60%. How would you explain this, and how our countries are now aimed to address these possible transport limitations between the two states to overcome this number?
It's a good question. Basically, we see that the trade decrease not only with Kazakhstan, with all Central Asia countries. If you see dynamic, of course, it was like big spike. Now it decreased. I would say it's stabilized, and but it's not, I would say, matter of insufficient transport infrastructure. I think the matter that we have basically some change in maybe routes, and the cargo itself, most likely to Kazakhstan, the demand is less than it was like 2 years ago. So now, of course, we have this number which decreased. Of course, it's just preliminary. Let's see what we will have when we close this year. But anyway, it's still much more higher. Let's say if you compare numbers like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and so on.
So you already touched on the topic of Middle Corridor, which is Trans-Caspian international transport route. How do Lithuania identify these projects, and maybe what about the investments from your side and from Kazakh side, also from on the results of perhaps increasing of the investments to better improve this route, which is quite vulnerable not only for Kazakhstan but for EU as well in general.
It's very important. It's, I would say, crucial corridor for Europe. And let me admit that Europe itself dedicated 10 billion euros to this corridor, to develop this corridor. I think it's very important side that Europe and of course behind all European countries, they are supporting this corridor very much. Lithuania itself, our company, Lithuania Railways, we joined the corridor the organization which basically managed this corridor last year. And of course we see us as a player in this corridor. The most important thing that if you can bring Central Asia, Chinese goods to Europe, maybe to Romania or Bulgaria, then from this part we can take and we can bring goods to Lithuania. And as I told, from Lithuania you can deliver goods to Germany, to Scandinavian countries, because we have regular shipping lines which goes daily basis to the other markets. So Trans-Caspian corridor and south and northern corridor, they can be connected, and then you have this quite long, attractive, and diversified route. How to deliver goods from China, from Central Asia to basically Northern Europe.
Let me stop also on the topic of critical raw materials, which European Union and Kazakhstan have now decided to deepen their partnership in this regard, and Kazakhstan is proceeding in producing 16 materials from the most prioritized by the European Union. And is there any prospect that in this regard also can be, somehow perhaps deepening also partnership between Kazakhstan and Lithuania?
Yes, for sure. This is, I think, the strategy of our countries, how to attract, Kazakhstan raw materials producers and to bring them to Europe. So I would say that we have already good examples. Let me mention the company Phosphate. We are delivering monthly basis their production to Klaipėda seaport, and then for Klaipėda seaport we are distributing to the all over Europe. So this is, I think that this is a very important direction for future cooperation and for, let's say, improving this direction.
I see. And my last question could be perhaps about the bilateral connectivity between Kazakhstan and Lithuania. I've seen the news that there might be direct flights between Kazakhstan and Lithuania. Is there any perspective that they can appear until the end of this year? And is there such need, necessity from both sides?
Yes, direct flight connecting Lithuania and Kazakhstan is very important. It's always on the top of our agenda. Of course, now we should admit the reality that because of sanctions, basically you should fly to Lithuania and to Europe bypassing Russia airspace, so you should go through the south. And this is a challenge because the direction, the route itself is much longer. But we are discussing, we are ready to assist, and we are finding the ways how to get this flight direction, because it's naturally, if you wanted to increase our relations, for sure direct flight should be on our agenda and should be implemented. Because let's say for me to come here, I'm losing 1 day and it's not comfortable, because if you have direct flight, just you can in 5 hours you reach Kazakhstan and you can have meetings and so on. So this is very important.
I see. So until the end of this year, perhaps it will not appear, right?
Yeah, most likely not, but it's of course the matter of the near future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skačkauskas, for visiting us.
Thank you.
Thank you.